Okay, so in the last video, we picked a bunch of keywords and we downloaded a spreadsheet. So let's open that spreadsheet. Now, when you open it, if you get a screen like this, which is asking you how to open it, what you need to do is choose Tab, because that's how the columns are separated, and then click OK. Okay, so this is probably what it's going to look like for you, depending on how many rows you have, keywords you have. So let's just clean this thing up a little bit. There's a lot of columns in here we don't need, and let's just get rid of them. Add group, we don't care about that. It's all the same anyways. So let's get rid of that one. And keyword type, currency, this, don't need any of those. And let's get rid of impressions, share, estimated clicks, estimated impressions, estimated cost, estimated click-through rate. Get rid of all those. And we'll get rid of estimated average, CPC, delete, and estimated average position, because that has to do with ads and that doesn't help us. Okay, so we've boiled it down to a pretty simple little spreadsheet here. And again, you may have 5 keywords, you may have 200 of them. For those of you with 5 keywords, there's probably going to be some stuff in here that you don't need to do because it's so obvious, what keywords you would go after. But for the sake of everybody else, we'll go through some steps to prioritize these things. So the first thing we'll do is sort the data so that we have the most popular keywords at the top. Those are the keywords with the highest traffic potential. Okay, now we can see dog beds is the most popular. That's going to bring the most traffic. Dog collars next, etc., etc. Now keep in mind, if you're number 1 on Google in the organic ranking, you may get clicked on by 30 to 40% of these people. So it's not like if you rank number 1, you'll get all 720. But 30 to 40% of that are probably going to click on you based upon the information that's out there at this time. If you're ranked number 3, it's about 9% of people will click on you. And if you're ranked number 10, it's only about 2 or 3%. So you can see there's a sharp decline. So we'll keep that in mind as we go through this, because one of the things you have to decide on is what I'm going to get out of this really what I want? Is it worth doing the ongoing work to try to get the ranking? So we'll kind of look at that a little bit more at the end. So what we want to do now is determine this keyword value to us. And that has to do with, like we already looked at, how many people are searching using that keyword. And of course, the ranking position you get, or you have to get in order to bring people to you. How much work does it require to get to that position, to get the traffic? So this competition column here, this is a number from 0 to 1. And the higher the number, the higher the competition. So all of these I've chosen for our example here are pretty high competition. But you may have some that read 0.1 or 0.2 or whatever. Lower competition means it's going to be easier for you to rank for that. So what I would suggest now is kind of going through these and putting let's make a new column and call it priority. And what I would do is pick a number of 1, 2, or 3. 1 being things that seem to be of the first priority for now, the things you want to go after and rank for first. Those might be things that have a decent average monthly searches amount, but where the competition is lower. It's not too tough. Those are things that'd be easier to rank for. And then once you rank for them, you can come back and go after a second group. So enter the number 2 in this column for any keywords that you think would be of that second group. Keywords that may be a little bit less relevant, or the competition is a lot steeper. Maybe we'll try those if we can do well with the first group. And then put a number 3 next to a keyword if you feel like, I don't really know about that one, maybe someday type of thing. Okay, so I've gone through and put my priority numbers next to them. Some of them you'll notice are blank. Some of these, now that I think about it more, that's just not what we want. We're not going to go that direction. So let's just get those off for a spreadsheet. Okay, so we've got this cleaned up now. Now, depending on what your competition column shows, it might be more helpful for you if these numbers are all close together to use the suggested bid column as the one to determine what the competition rating is. For me, the competition column, those numbers were almost all the same. So I use the suggested bid. That's what, if we were going to do paid ads, what Google suggests we bid on that keyword. So, if it wants me to spend $6 versus $1.50, that means this keyword is just a lot more competitive. So that's what I used when I went through here. So I thought, yeah. So, I put this as priority 1 because, we're all about, dog beds at this fictitious company, and the dollar amount was sort of on the lower end of terms of competition. So I put that on my priority 1 list. Dog collars, same thing. It's actually a little bit less competitive than dog beds, it seems. But best dog food, wow, that really seemed quite competitive. So I put that on priority 2. It is relevant for us, but higher on the competitive scale. Let's do that later. Same with dog food, especially because that's a little bit more broad. Dog food reviews, maybe we'll do something with that later. This one, that's pretty specific. That's a brand we sell or whatever. So, yeah, let's do that on their first list. We got down here to dog food brands. And, maybe in my case, I'm thinking, well, we may have a bunch of different brands later. And maybe we'll have a page all about the brands, once we rank for this other stuff. Because it was so competitive, it wasn't really something I want to go after right now. So I put that as a priority 3, maybe someday. It's relevant or will be relevant then, but it's really competitive now. And this other one here, taste of wild dog food, that sounds interesting. Maybe that could be something we try, but let's just, even though it's not very competitive, let's just do that later if we do it. And then we've got some other ones down here that those make great sense for us to act on now. So that's kind of the discernment that you need to use as you go through here. What's relevant for you now? What do you think is going to work best? And what's the competition like for those? And try to, sort those out. And now that we have them rated by priority, we can easily sort that. All right, so I've just sorted it by priority, and I've just highlighted it just to make it look pretty. There's another question we need to ask ourselves about our keywords. What kind of mindset is the visitor in when they search for these things? And does that mindset match up with what we want them to do? Maybe we want them to buy something, or maybe we want them just to contact us for some kind of free consultation, or whatever other action. So we have to ask ourselves, for each keyword, is this type of keyword bringing the person that is ready to do what I want them to do? When it comes to buying things, people are they're closer to actually buying something the more specific their keywords are. So leather dog collars, for example, that people that search for this are probably a lot more likely to buy than people that would just search for dog collars. And if I've got a tight budget to work with on search engine optimization, I might say, you know what, I'm going to make dog collars, I'm going to make that a number 2 priority after all. I'm going to get up there for leather dog collars, and after I'm selling those, then maybe I'll worry about going after just the regular dog collars thing. After you've put that kind of thought to it, you're going to have a nice little list of priority keywords and then secondary keywords. So now the next step is to go out and gauge our SEO competitors. for our priority keywords. And that'll be on the next walkthrough. Thank you.